This is Fighting for What's Right. I'm Pam Jones here with personal injury attorney Barry Doyle. Barry, we've been talking about depositions. Do you actually get to ask questions of the other side?
We certainly get our chance to take depositions of the other side. That also is going to be an important part of the case. I'm also sizing them up as a witness to see, how I think they're going to come across when things are all said and done. But there are a number of different things I'm going to try to get accomplished, and it's going to vary depending on the kind of case that we're handling.
Okay, so Barry, when you do the depositions, how does your approach change?
The way I look at it is there are really three different levels to taking a deposition. The first level is the simplest, and I refer to it as the what happened next level. And essentially what it is you're asking that question, what happened next, and getting their sequence of events out. Now, the other two levels are much more focused. The second level is where you're getting concessions from them that help lock in your liability case. In other words, that they admit in a rear-end car accident that they were the ones who took their eyes off the road, that they knew that taking their eyes off the road or playing with their cell phone while they're driving was unsafe. Those admissions, at that level are pretty simple. In more complex kinds of cases like a construction accident case or even a slip and fall case or a case involving a nursing home, those can be really sort of complex issues, but you want to get good, clean admissions from the defense about what it is that they did and why what they did was wrong. And that's something that you need to work very hard at. The third level is really locking in a version of events where they can't create a lot of wiggle room. So when you're questioning people from the other side, you use a technique called cross-examination, where it's one question, one fact. And you want to have good, clean testimony as to those facts you want them admitting, because you don't want to get to court and have them be able to wiggle off the hook. So the third level is really locking in those crucial bits of testimony. That again is something that takes work. It takes experience and skill to be able to do that just right.
That sounds like a lot of work. How do you get ready for a deposition?
How I prepare for a deposition is going to vary by the case. I mentioned earlier that we do the written discovery, and that sort of sets the stage for the next stage of the case, which is doing these depositions. And the documents that I get in the written discovery stage of the case are things that I review and I sort of use to frame the questions I'm going to be asked going forward. Past that, I do some of my own investigation. If it's an auto case, I may get on Google Maps and get on the Street View and actually move forward through an intersection where the accident happened to see what does that intersection actually look like. If it's a case involving a nursing home, I'll start reviewing some of the medical literature, reviewing the federal regulations, things like that help me get ready to ask those questions to get to that second and third level where I'm getting admissions from them that help me establish the liability case and kind of lock in the favorable testimony that I really want. Because those are the things that really put me in a position where the defense is going to have to think very seriously about settling the case.
Sometimes we watch these court shows, legal shows, where attorneys actually go back to the scene. Do you ever go back to the scene and try to walk that sidewalk or drive that piece of highway?
I used to do that a lot. I do it less often now that there's Google Maps. But in fact, in slip and fall cases, that's something that I do fairly routinely, because it really does help you understand just how big something is and how far things are one from another. When you actually get out there and you walk around and you see exactly the defects that are involved at issue in the case.
Thanks, Barry. This is Fighting for What's Right with personal injury attorney Barry Doyle. For more information, visit our website at www.fightingforwhat'sright.com.